Oh, what's good, Commanders fans? That is how you walk into LA and you walk into somebody's trap and take over their trap. That is a homecoming game for Jayden Daniels. That is how you make a homecoming. That is how you do a homecoming for Jayden Daniels. You go into LA and win like that. Shout out to Bill, man. Rookie of the week, man. And he potentially could be rookie of the year. He is on pace. He could potentially do that. I know there's like Emeka Egbuka and some other guys that are really good. But the way he played today, we don't need to do a committee. Like, the committee is fine, but we finally gave Bill the majority of the touches, man. This guy was playing like Booby Miles out there. And like I said, too, I said this on the Commanders King stream, too. I was like, I want to see him in the passing game, too. I want to see him get some catches. And he was doing that. He was breaking tackles, ran over Derwin James. He was high-stepping, making guys miss in a phone booth. Yes, he had the fumble, but he made it for that. Went to the end zone untouched. We did a speed option. Cliff Kingsbury was in his bag. Debo was in his bag, 8 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. The 4th and 7 was clutch. Luke McCaffrey with a 50-yard catch. And we started at, 10-0, guys. They were marching down the field. Lad McConkey wide open touchdown. Keenan Allen wide open. Quentin Johnson wide open. We had Quan Martin and Marshawn Lattimore running into each other. And these guys made it up. Quan Martin with a huge forced fumble. Ball is life. That's how you take the football away, guys. That's how you take the ball away. Joe Whitt Jr. with his back against the wall. Back against the wall. People calling for his job. I myself included was saying that, hey, he may have to come down from the booth and come down to the field like the Falcons did with their offensive coordinator. But, man, Joe Whitt Jr. stepped up today, man. If we don't force those turnovers, then it could be a different ball game, of course. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, and all that. But they stepped up and made plays, man. That was a big play. Big forced fumble by Quan Martin and a huge interception by Mikey in the red zone. Those were 2 game-changing plays. Johnny Newton with a huge pass deflection. That was huge by Johnny Newton. And he got a sack today, I believe. Dorrance Armstrong was balling in the backfield. We have 5 sacks today, guys. Dorrance, King Von Miller, Jacob Martin, Dorrance. Other guys stepping up and making plays and getting into the backfield, man. That's how you do it. We talked about how the Chargers' offensive line was banged up. And we took advantage of that. No Chargers receiver got over 58 yards receiving. We talked about how bad our secondary was and how Lad McConkey was potentially going to go crazy, or Quentin Johnston was going to go crazy. None of those guys went crazy. None of those guys went off today. And this was America's game of the week. This was Jayden coming back. And people concerned about the injury and whatnot, he looked fine. 8 carries for 39 yards. He looked spry. He looked good. I love the speed option that I talked about earlier, the read option. He had a nice scramble, and then he got there. They call it the late hit. Thank goodness. One Chargers player was really dirty and kicked him, and I think he did that on purpose. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the Chargers player clearly kicked him, and I thought that was intentional. That Chargers player did, the defensive lineman. I don't know his name, but it looked intentional to me. It really did. But all in all, I thought we did a good job. I'm gonna go over my notes real quick here too. 3rd downs, we gotta get a little bit better on that. We were 9 for 16 on 3rd downs against the Chargers. We got back to our bread and butter a little bit with 4th downs. That 4th and 7 that was clutch to Debo. That was such a huge play. Jalen Lane made a big play on a 3rd and 16, a big catch. Jayden was manipulating the pocket, moving around, finding guys open. Debo Samuel open. Jalen Lane, big play. Tate Martin had a catch. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm excited, guys. So I'm just going over the plays that I can remember off the top of my head before I get to my notes. Then we had a rocky start. Like I said, we gave up a 41-yard run to Justin Herbert. And we gave up big plays. And Tress Way, I got to give him credit for selling it too. When he got hit and he just laid on the floor, head down to the floor, that's how you sell it. And you get that penalty called. And that's how we got that field goal before the end of the half. That's how you sell it. You got to sell it. You got to make the refs believe. You got to make them believe. So I do want to get a quick word for Sleeper. I did pick Justin Herbert over or more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I was wrong on that. I'm happy that I was wrong. And we held him to only 1 passing touchdown, I believe. So that was good. We held him to 10 points. They put Trey Lance in the ball game, guys. They waved the white flag, and they put Trey Lance in the ball game. That's how you know it was bad. And Debo was going after Ben St. Juice. Like, we knew that was food. That was so hilarious going after Ben St. Juice. But let's get a quick word from Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code Oliver. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
All right, so like I said, we did miss on today's picks. Other things that I did put in my notes. Mikey was offsides. Like, they should have never even scored that touchdown. We could have held them to 6 points potentially, or 3 points if Mikey was not offsides on that kickoff or the kick, the field goal. They wouldn't have scored a touchdown. They really wouldn't have. Another note I have is, should we have went for it on 4th and 2? We decided not to go for it. We decided to punt. I think last year we would have went for it. I think we were on our own 40-yard line. It was like 10-0 at the time, or maybe 7-0 or something like that. I can't remember. That's a note that I had. Keenan Allen was wide open. I told about that. Frankie missed a tackle, but he got better on that. Jordan McGee got some snaps. He got a little bit more snaps than what he usually does, so that was good to see that. I thought Bobby was flying around. Daron Payne was flying around. There was one screenplay that we blew up to, I think it was Amarion Hampton, and Bobby hit Justin Herbert, and then Daron Payne finished up the play for like a -3 play for the Chargers. Jayden had a nice run for a first down. He had a couple nice runs for first downs, I believe. Debo was used in the run game too, a little bit here and there. Luke McCaffrey, that 50-yard catch. Wes Welker is probably so happy, man. Wes Welker has worked wonders for Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey, 3 games in a row making big play. He had a nice kickoff return too, and the crowd was in it, man. This was like a home game. Like, when there was penalties, like, there was a time when the Chargers had a 2nd and 33, and I don't know if it was the crowd noise that forced them to do a false start or whatever, but the crowd was really hyped. When there was a penalty, like the Luke chant was really loud. Whenever the Chargers got called for a penalty was really loud. Like, man, the crowd really showed out. The Commanders crowd traveled to Atlanta. The Commanders crowd traveled to L.A. And there's a big fan base in L.A. too. There's a big Cali Skins, Cali Commanders fan base for sure. But I love hearing that. I love seeing that. I talked about the 3rd and 16 for Jalen Lane. Debo had a nice catch, the speed option. I talked about that as well. Bill, nice catch and run. Bill, touchdown run where he was untouched. Johnny Newton got a sack. Pass interference. They got away with one pass interference, and then they called the second one where they grabbed Debo. I think it was number 26. His last name is Still. And they called a pass interference on him finally. Chris Moore. You got to cut Chris Moore, man. Enough of Chris Moore. Enough. Robbie Anderson. Robbie Chosen's on the roster. You got Big Play Tay. You got your Corey Brooks. Like, we should have won. We won 27-10. We could have potentially won 34-10. Like, that should have been a catch for Chris Moore. By Chris Moore. That should have been a touchdown catch. And he just dropped it. Just ridiculous. Really bad. And we had a couple delayed games in that drive, too, in the field goal. We got to clean that up. We got to be better at that with clock management. Dorrance Armstrong got a sack. Justin Herbert had a big run. We had a big 4th down stop where the guy dropped it. The number 83, the tight end. Can't remember his name, but he dropped it. That was a big drop. So we did get a break there, but that was a big stop on 4th down against the Chargers. Bill fumble. He's going to make up for that. I talked about that earlier. Quan Martin made a big play by pushing, I think it was either Mikey or Quan, by pushing Keenan Allen out of bounds, where he could have got that first down, but they made a big play by pushing him out of bounds. Javon Kinlaw had a big stop on the run, a big run stop. I think that was before the Mikey interception. He had a big run stop on 2nd down. That was a big play by Javon Kinlaw. That's why we paid him $15 million per year. Javon Kinlaw has played really, really well this year. Really, really well. I talked about Jayden Daniels running. He got the late hit. He got the first down. The Chargers player was dirty and kicked Jayden. Jeremy McNichols had a big play on a 3rd down. It was like a 3rd and 14. He broke like 3 or 4 tackles and got a first down. That was huge by J-Mac. Huge by J-Mac. J-Mac broke a bunch of tackles against the Raiders. He did it again tonight or today on America's Game of the Week. JCM, 100 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. That's just crazy for her. He's going to win Rookie of the Week again. We already know that's going to happen, guys. We already know. We already know what to do. Jayden Daniels, 15 for 26, 231 yards and a touchdown. Should have been 2 touchdown passes. Debo, 8 for 96. Luke, 1 for 50. And Jalen Lane, 1 for 16 yards. This was without Terry. This was without Noah Brown. This is without Dietrich Wise. This is without Austin Eckler. This is without Will Harris. This is without Percy Butler. This is without those guys. This is without Javonte Jean-Baptiste. You know, I can name 50 guys who are on IR right now. 50 without Sam Cosmi. And we're still getting it done, guys. And Sam Cosmi's on the way. It's only going to go up from here. And I just hate how the fan base was so doom and gloom the last couple of weeks. Like, every time we lose, we're just so doom and gloom. Not me included. But we're just Jekyll and Hyde. We gotta be consistent. We're Jekyll and Hyde. We beat up on the Raiders, then we lose. Now we beat up on the Chargers. We beat up on the Giants. We're an every other week team. We gotta be consistent. Marshawn Lattimore, every other week. I said this many times. He's an every other week player. He didn't get tested today. Didn't get beat. He did a good job. I gotta give my credit. Tip my hat to Marshawn Lattimore. Tip my hat to Marshawn Lattimore. He did not get cooked. He played well. Can he keep this up against the Bears next week? Monday Night Football. The Bears don't want no smoke. They don't want no smoke. We are every other week team right now. We got to change that. 3-2. The Eagles lost. The Giants lost. Great day. The Cowboys beat a terrible Jets team. So it is what it is. But 3-2. Keep stacking. Sophomore slump where? Everybody wants to see Jayden fail. That's not happening. He's not letting that happen. He's too good. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Tomorrow, of course, studs and duds, different things like that. You guys let me know what you guys think. As always, big win. We got the dub. Left hand up. Hail to Commanders. Peace.